inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising on just you watch. I'm stepping into fate, there is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me, this is how legends are made.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jeremy LaRose. Macy's on the camera. We got Enzo out here. We're gonna keep going with our lead change video. I have the hiccups, but it's gonna rain and I gotta get this done while we can still ride outside. So lead changes are a little bit one of those things where I wanna be out in the open. I don't wanna be trapped in an arena. I don't wanna be trapped in 4 small walls, because he's gonna learn to fall down, he's gonna learn to dive and do bad habits I'm gonna have to fix later on in the year. So take advantage of the fact that we can ride outside, open spaces, get him opened up a little bit, get his body moving, and like we like to say, get a little bit of wind underneath their wings, okay? So I wanna go over, we've talked now about the theory of lead changes and kind of what we're thinking about when we do lead changes. I wanna go over kind of the basic maneuvers our horse gotta be able to do, the prep that lets us know that we're ready to start teaching lead changes, and we'll kind of build you guys up from there. So we talked before about how we've gotta be able to have our horse broke down to parts and pieces. So that's outside spur right here in the middle of his body, makes his legs move together. I'm looking for good 1-2 rhythm here. So the other piece of that, Macy was kind of demonstrating last time, if I push him back to you guys, I wanna keep this leg really close by, push him over to that foot, right there. So see how I got my legs moving together? I got good fluid motion right here. His neck came up a little bit. Kind of call those mistakes. Now brush this leg right here and make sure he stays right there. When I finish, you see how square I am between my feet. So if I go back to the left, come across here, see where I sit square, hold this horse between my spurs, bring him to my left foot. Don't get in that habit where you're trying to make it look like you've seen in the show pen and you start opening your leg way away to get your horse to move around. So when we talk about preparation for lead changes and the maneuvers our horse gotta be able to make, we're long past teaching him how to side pass, okay? We've already done that. That's homework that we've already covered. We've done that in previous videos. All of that stuff that we've done has made him ready to get to this point, which is now we're gonna stay between our feet. We're gonna push him across to my right spur. You see where he doesn't need this leg way away from him to still be able to lateral, okay? I don't have to kick my leg way away to be able to lateral, okay? He can move into that pressure a little bit. I'm not spurring him with my switch leg, my inside leg, so if I'm going right to left, like I'm gonna do here on the camera, going right to left, I'm not gonna hold him with this foot, I'm not gonna spur him with it, I'm just gonna keep that calf really close by. Remember we talked like with Macy, I don't want him to roll his rib cage. So I'm keeping that leg really close by, helps me stay centered on his back. You see how square I can sit, my hips are level, my shoulders are level, my horse is level, okay? If I were leaning, he's gonna roll his body and escape his legs that way, and that's not where lead change is gonna come from, okay? Lead change gotta go from here, up and into the change, up and forward into the change. So I don't want this horse to go and deviate very far. See how I keep his neck straight in the middle of his chest? I don't want him to deviate very far from straight right here, all right? Again, it's all prep work that we don't have to take his head way over here anymore to get him to lateral, okay? I don't have to use his body against him anymore to get this lateral motion. So I don't want to take his neck and his body really far away from straight. I want to keep his body pretty straight here, all right? So that's all kind of prep work, that's all homework stuff we want you to have before you come out and try swapping leads on your horse, okay? So a lot of times people send horses out to us and they say they want to teach them flying lead changes, and we can get it done absolutely in 30, 60 days, but the problem that we run into, I'll give Macy a break, the problem that we run into is that our horse doesn't have the fundamentals that he needs to just go into swapping leads. So you have to spend 30, 60 days teaching the fundamentals, 90 days teaching fundamentals, and then 30, 60 days teaching the actual changes. So you're looking at 4 or 5 months then. Okay, so we're gonna shortcut that. This horse has been doing lead changes for just a very short amount of time, but he's pretty cute at them and he's pretty accurate right now. Okay, so we're gonna show you how we got there. As always, the same rules apply. He can't shove into my hands. I need him pressing down right here, down into the bridle. I'm using a snaffle and draw reins. I like using draws for this maneuver because it allows me to kind of rub and roll, but he can't shove on my hands. So that's gotta be out of there. So you see where this horse stays down and back, on this real light rein pressure. If he were to shove on me, I'm gonna come here, get him off my hands right there, and move him off. So he's gotta stay off the bridle. I don't want him to shove into my hands or get heavy when we do things. There might be a couple times that he leans through my hands, you're gonna see me shut him down, all right? So the basis for this maneuver right here, this becomes how we teach the change and how we correct the change, all right? So if I go to do the change and he misses that, my correction is gonna look just like that. I'm gonna take him over here, side pass him, and lope him back off, all right? So that maneuver is how we're gonna teach him that that's what our leg means, okay? Remember, the lead change is a weight shift, it's a weight transfer. So we're going from here on this lead over here, we're gonna ask and switch to this lead over here. So that's gonna be a weight transfer. We're loping along. If I was on my left lead, we're gonna shift his weight off the right side, off the right side, off the right side. I'm gonna kick this heel down and away from my horse, off and away, and there's my change, okay? Just that easy. So I'm here, I've got my leg away, I'm gonna wrap this leg close, bringing him across to my right foot, weight transfer, weight transfer, weight transfer. I'm gonna kick my left heel down and away. Macy, if you wanna see this left heel, I'm gonna kick this heel down and away. There's my change, all right? And it's just that easy. I'm gonna kick my heel down and away. So I'm either bringing my heel into my horse. If I were side passing him away from me, if I was going to the right, this is gonna be a right lead to left lead change. Coming across here, got my heel on, press him off this lead, and now back onto it. And I just kick my heel down, okay? So that heel kick is where the change is gonna happen. So we'll go press, I'm pressing my right leg, that's gonna give me lateral. Now I'll hold my right leg, get my left involved, kick my right down and change, all right? So see how it doesn't take a lot of motion out of me to make that change happen. I'm not like really shifting my weight or really throwing him around. I just wanna be able to kick my heel down. So here, bring him to you guys. This is right lead, right lead, right lead, right lead, onto my right foot, kick my left heel down and press my right foot. And then I'm moving back the other way. That's how light your horse has gotta be to do these maneuvers and get a lead change properly. Okay, you see where I don't have to dig my foot to get him to move. It is simply that there's pressure on this leg, pressure on this spur, he moves up and off of it, okay? If you're still in the stage where you're doing this to get him to move and raking him and brushing his leg and getting into him, you are not soft enough to get him to change at a lope. All right, so go back to your walk, put your time in, come across here and get him to where you can come across here. He stays down in his neck. You see where I don't have to babysit him with my hands. He stays down, kick, come across. Very good, and that would be a change, okay? So once I have that pretty good at a walk to where my horse laterals well, I'll move into a jog. All right, so we're gonna move into the trot. So when I come across here, same deal applies. We start teaching this maneuver on a straightaway. So I want to be able to trot down here. Just nice, easy pace. We do a lot of training at the medium trot. I'm going to come back around so you don't have to run down here. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I'm a side pass. So right here, lateral move. See how, again, I don't have to take him really far away from center line to make this happen. He stays between my hands and my feet. So remember, that's something that we've been working towards for a long, long time. A horse that stays between our hands and our feet. You see where he doesn't challenge my hands. There's no wanting to rush forward. When I put my spur on, he doesn't lean on my hands. And that's a big deal. So come across here, come around, lateral over. Now he lifted his head a little bit right there, and I feel him leaking his shoulder a little bit more than his hip. So I want to square this up. I'm gonna block my left side a little bit. This horse tends to get a little bit lazy with his hips this way, so I gotta keep him straight in his body. I wanna keep everything going up and across. Come back around, center line again, come through, push across. Oh, can't die out. So right here, push across. See where my hands are sitting square. I don't want to do this right here because that's going to get his body crooked. You see where now his hip leads the way? Those changes are going to be funky, okay? He's going to have to pop his head to get those changes because he's out of position. I need his body to stay relatively straight here. I want to know that when I go to this foot, I talk to his front end and back end equally. So I feel a little bit lazy, there, his head popped up when I went to my foot. Can't do that, so I shuffle my hands wide, drop that neck down. Again, I feel like his hip's falling behind here. There, I want the piece moving together. The big piece that, see, I keep my eyes straight down the arena. So we've got to have a point in mind that I'm going to. So when I come here, straight to the camera, want to keep my eyes straight ahead, keeping everything straight. If you get right here, it's gonna be really easy to start doing this, and you're not gonna know you're doing it wrong, okay? Make sure you stay looking straight ahead. Feel where that horse sat underneath of you. Think about sitting square. Think about keeping everything level right here, okay? I don't want pieces going sideways and him spinning out when I go to do things. Come back around, push across. Very good. Out, push across. Very good. Out, push across. Very good. Out. See how I get in 3 times, 4 times down that rail? It's not about getting one step or one ask. You got one fly, buddy. One ask when I go down this rail. I want to come in. If he moves off nice, I get out. If you come in, if it moves off that foot nice, we'll get out, okay? Holding that foot to him doesn't teach him what he's supposed to do. When you're first teaching this stuff, just get your one step and ask again. One step, ask again. If you go to put your foot on, your horse surges through you and speeds up his legs or goes that way, don't be afraid to shut it down. Ooh, right here, shut it down, back it off, keep your foot on, side pass, so that you can go to your foot and not have your horse surge off, okay? See how I can go to my feet, and this horse is not gonna surge off. He's gonna stay right up underneath me. I can kick off here, switch leads, kick off here, switch leads. There, he sped up. So we're gonna shut that down, okay? That's what I'm looking for. So don't be afraid to test that. Make sure your horse stays with you. A change has gotta happen underneath of you. It can't happen up there, okay? If your horse is going up there, he's gonna speed up and run away when you go to your change. Just like everything else, when we go to teach this stuff, horse gotta stay back, he's gotta stay on his hip, keep his shoulders up, make moves under us. He can't be going that way, okay? So that's one of the first things I want you to check with your horses before you think about changing leads. That's one of the first things I want you to check. You cannot change leads if your horse does not make moves under you like that, sharply, without a lot of help out of your hands. So come across, there's my change, come across, there's a change, come across, there's a change, come across, there's a change. See, I just trade in between my feet. Come across, here's a change, come across, here's a change. And you can really see that weight shift now, okay? You can really see him start transferring weight to the other side. There's a change, come across, there's a change, come across, there's a change. And I feel like based on this maneuver right here, based on how he walks, he's gonna change better from the right to the left. If you rewind that back and you look how much harder he changes off that side. He really gets over there. When I put this leg on, it's a sharp move, okay? It feels soft on this side. It feels soggy when I'm walking along. I push him over this side and I go to change and I don't get that sharp cut move back across. I get a big sharp cut coming this way. So this horse is gonna be really good changing right to left and kind of sloppy changing left to right. So right away, we get a good idea of where our horse is gonna be soggy for the day, where he's gonna be sloppy, what he's gonna have a hard time with, okay? So work on that this next couple weeks. We're gonna check back in. We'll keep making progress. I'll show you guys how we move up from here. So remember, we do everything grade school, high school, college, right? So he's right in the high school level right now. This is a grade school level maneuver. We're in 3rd grade here. Very basic 3rd grade, make moves under me, don't shove, don't leave. Okay? Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. We'll see you in the next video. We're gonna keep working on these lead changes.
I've got that lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising on just you watch. I'm stepping into fame.